I love to be proven wrong. And these are 5 of my biggest 5-star surprises from this year, meaning books that have absolutely proved me wrong. Excuse the funk, first of all. We're all 3 fighting over something. And before I jump into packing us for a birthday camping trip, I wanted to hop in really quick. I have read 5 books this year that have really taken me by surprise in like the best possible way, where, not to be rude to the authors or anything like that, but I went into them expecting to be entertained and expecting to enjoy myself, but not necessarily expecting a 5-star read. And so this is a list that I have thrown together real quick after going through my Goodreads, since we're almost halfway through the year, of 5 of the books that I am the most surprised that I gave 5 stars. So to start this off with, I'm going to talk about One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, which is a duology, I believe, or a series. I think it's a duology, and I've read both of them. But specifically talking about One Dark Window, I went into this thinking that it was, like I said, going to be enjoyable, going to be maybe a little bit funky, a little bit twisted, but I actually ended up thinking that it was so unique in how the world is laid out and how their magic and the curse that they're under ends up coming to fruition and everything, that I did end up giving it 5 stars. And then, not to mention that the dark and twisted part of it felt very dark and twisted. And so One Dark Window is about a girl who has a voice in her head, and she lives in an area where people who have magic in their blood end up kind of losing their minds, and they are sentenced to death because it's seen as kind of like a plague. And that's all I'm going to say about this. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. I thought the writing was really just very hypnotizing. And the whole series really came together very well. The next book that I have on this top 5 surprising reads is actually 2 books in a series that the next one doesn't come out till next year, but I would love to talk to you guys about Rites of the Starling and the first book in the series, Shield of Sparrows. So Shield of Sparrows and Rites of the Starling. I got them backwards there, but I gave these books 5 stars, and I was kind of expecting more of a TikTok fad type of book where it was oh, that was fun and that was good. But the first book grabbed me so fast, and I loved the character. I loved the monsters. I loved it all. And then the second book actually surprised me even more because I felt like the world building was so incredibly done, where it didn't feel surface level. I feel like a lot of the times when I read a book that's recommended a lot on Instagram or on Book Talk, it feels very surface level development, which is fine if that's what you're looking for. But I felt like this has so much potential to grow even further. I was so impressed with how everything was done in the second book. I felt like there's 2 storylines. I felt like they intertwined really well. And I felt like you got so much information without feeling bogged down and overwhelmed by it. And so I'm very much looking forward to the third book coming out at the beginning of next year. This is up there for me. I really felt like the character and the world development in this was just incredible. So that's those 2. And then after those, I wanted to talk about Serpent and Dove, specifically the first one, because I jumped into the second one right after, and I actually DNF'd it so far. I've put it on pause. But the first one I felt was very well done. It's set in a time period where I feel like learning to love a character who has these qualities that you just in modern times are why? But you do, or I did at least. And so I felt like the witchcraft was really cool, and that the different kinds of witches and the cost of witchcraft was very well done. I felt like the character arcs were very well written and developed. The last one that I wanted to mention that I'm actually still, I think I have about 2 hours left on the audiobook, but that I will be giving 5 stars as long as the ending goes well. I know this is part of a series, so, and the second one hasn't been announced yet, so we'll see how the ending hits, but is A Vow in Vengeance, and that is by Jaclyn Rodriguez, I believe. And so I'm currently listening to this one, and it was another one that I kind of expected more of a Instagram book talk type of experience, and I'm getting way more from it. I'm really, really enjoying the development between the two main characters and their relationship. The magic system is really cool. She goes to this school that's based off of tarot. Their magic system in general is based off of tarot. And so everyone kind of gets called to a specific tarot card, and that is the reflection of the magic that they get to use. And she happens to pull the world card, which for them means that they can use, the world magic users can use all types of magic. And her and the prince are the only two people in like half a millennia to pull the world card. So she has to work with this prince that she hates because she believes his people, I mean, she knows his people took her family. Well, the immortals took her family, not specifically his type of immortal, but still, it's like a general hatred, which is why it's A Vow in Vengeance. But so she goes through this whole transformation, and they have to work together in a sense. It's like a kind of like a fake dating trope, and their whole relationship has been developed really well. And the magic system is very, very cool. And again, the creatures are very cool. The history that she built in the world is all very unique and much more than I was expecting. And so I'm really looking forward to the second one and this one too. And it's a little premature because I haven't totally finished it, but I'm including it in this list because it is my most surprising, and I do expect to give it 5 stars. So I'm going to link all 5 of these down below, and if you are interested, please consider using the links that I have. I am an Amazon affiliate as of right now. Things are kind of getting a little crazy. So I hope to see you soon, but I also hope that this like quick rapid fire recommendations of what I've read so far this year kind of is fun to watch and easy to get through. Cat fight. Until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye.